Supervision is a key. We need to be supervised and examined on the priorities. If this is what the government cares most about, that's what you need to grade us on.
So I'm here with Craig Tim, Managing Director in Global Financial Crimes at Bank of America.
Thanks, Craig, so much for joining us today to talk about AML reform and how the public and private sectors can best align on national AML priorities.
We're having a lot of discussions in the marketplace about what practically these reforms may mean if they continue forth as intended. And really, our interview series is really designed to tease out some of those practical implications of what FinCEN has proposed and create a discussion in the market around the best way that we as the private sector can align to what the government is now proposing. So Craig, how can the public and private sectors best work together to make this happen?
Yeah, I think it's really three things. I think first, we need the government to issue these national priorities. I think that's an important first step in the process. Second, I think there needs to be a mechanism underneath each of the national priorities, which will necessarily be high level, to get more specific information out to the institutions around the threats that the government really cares about. Things the institutions can bring back, use in their program, identify the information, and then get it back to the government. And I think third, supervision is a key. We need to be supervised and examined on the priorities. If this is what the government cares most about, that's what you need to grade us on. That's what will create the incentives for institutions to adjust their program and really focus on the priorities that governments care about.
Couldn't agree more, Craig, and particularly with your third point on examination, as what the old adage of what gets measured gets done really applies here. And I think in order to make this a reality, we in the private sector are going to have to take the opportunity that's afforded by this FinCEN AMPRM to talk about how we want to be evaluated in the future. Around outcomes, around value to law enforcement, around alignment to priorities, in order to make that work, because it's going to take work together across industry and the regulatory community to make this a reality. Thank you so much, Craig, for your time and your insight.
Yeah, Clint, thank you. I appreciate you having me.